throughout the whole movie when I was watching it, I was thinking, this is amazing. This is the compromise that they came up with, with the censorship board and the director and the producer when they worked on this film. And everything that you see in the movie, in the trailer, everything you see in the songs, everything that the people are seeing are actually in this movie.
Normally मैं हमेशा इंटरव्यू शुरू करने से पहले रैप करता हूँ, but when I see her, I completely lose my mind. I just have to say one thing: I love you. We have Sunny Leone with us once again. Welcome to SpotboyE with
Thank
me,
you.
Shardul Sunny. How's it been going for you?
Great. There's a lot of amazing things happening, so I'm very excited for this movie release, and I hope it does really good.
Not just you, everybody is very excited, and the boys are very excited for the film. Acha, last time we met, we spoke about Sunny Deol. I met him today, and I spoke about you, and we spoke about those jokes, and he was very appreciative of you.
Oh, thank you.
You want to say thanks to him or anything like that?
Of course, thank you so much, and I apologize for all the crazy jokes that are very inappropriate, and sorry if it's my fault.
वो आपने तो नहीं बनाया, so it's not your fault.
Yeah.
But no, this always happens whenever there is Sunny Leone. Everybody wants to sensationalize. Sometimes you get annoyed with it, or you're like, let them do it.
When the media says things that are outrageous and crazy, I'm a human being. Of course, it affects me, but at the end of the day, I just have to brush it out like I brush my hair and move forward.
All right. तो भाई ऐसा है कि how tough was being Miss Lele, and like you do bring two characters in the film.
Yeah.
How tough was it?
I always found it more difficult to become Layla than it was Lily, because Lily is closer to my own personality. Lily's goofy and silly and makes weird faces and doesn't really care, she's falling over things or, doing all these crazy things that it's just more comfortable, and she's a lot more conservative, which is me in my real life. And Layla is what has been created. That's how the world sees me. They see me as Layla. So it's nice to get to play both. So when people start saying all these crazy things about Layla, I go, yeah, but I'm Lily too. There's Lily in the movie. So that was a nice thing about when you're going to make a movie like this, to have both sides of the coin, I guess you could say.
Coin. That reminds me, इस film के promos में सिक्का हिलेगा is everywhere. That just has caught on. What are the reactions you're getting?
I get all sorts of crazy reactions. This brainchild was made by Mr. Milap Zaveri, who's our director and the writer, one of the writers of the film, and he created this line, and it's just caught on, and it's a very catchy phrase, and I hope that all these cute dialogues and all the cute phrases that he's created for this movie, people are gonna love.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Honestly, do you think they're cute or they're hot? Because when we watch those promos, you very well knew when you were doing those lines that क्या reaction आने वाला है.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you were reading these lines, what were your reactions also like? I'm not going to do this, or I can't do this.
Yeah, there were. When I first read the script, and when we were in talks of what the story is going to be like, what the characters are going to be like, there were a couple of scenes where I said, Milap, no, I can't do this. There's a certain line, and I know I'm crossing it anyways, but some things I just wasn't comfortable with, and the nice thing is with Milap and with Rangata, the producer of the film, they worked with me because we all wanted to make a funny film, and I of course know what genre we were talking about. I wasn't blindsided by everything, so we knew what I was going to get into, but yeah, there were a couple of things I said no, it's not happening.
तो आपको कैसे convince करते थे sets पे, like there must be days जहाँ पे आपको होता है कि oh, this scene is like too bold for me. So how did he convince you?
You know what, everything was set before we started shooting. So this wasn't a set where you showed up one day and all of a sudden this whole scene was changed. If anything was changed, it was changed for the better. It was a spontaneous thing that was created on the spot. But for the most part, all the things that I've done in this movie, they were set in stone. So there was no moments of being cornered by a director, producer saying, "Oh, we want you to do this and please." Yeah, so it wasn't like that. And Rangata and Milap are not like that. They're, I think the reason why I was so comfortable making this film is because they were so comfortable with the subject.
Yeah.
And when you're on a set and they're more comfortable about talking about all this crazy stuff that goes on, then it also makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel like, oh, well, you know, this isn't wrong. This is a film. It's fictional. It's funny. It's supposed to, you know, be lighthearted, and you're supposed to have a good time when you watch it.
That's true. And you know, I have to say that kudos to you as an actress, because 2-3 times I've met you, you come across as a very shy person. And when I saw the promo, I was like, really? Is she doing those lines? You have done a great job. Acting is very difficult in those scenes.
Yeah, there were a couple of lines and there were a couple of moments in this film where I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
Which was the most difficult one?
Well, the ones that are in the promo, you know, the milk references. But that was a very tamed down version of what it was actually written as, yes.
Yeah, apparently I heard that there were a lot of cuts also given to the film. Do you know anything about that?
That scene, there's nothing cut. In most of the movie, when I watched it, you're not going to feel like there was a cut. You're not going to feel like there was something missing. You're going to say, what? How did they shot this? This is what I'm seeing? They're going to be shocked. Throughout the whole movie when I was watching it, I was thinking, this is amazing. This is the compromise that they came up with, you know, with the censorship board and the director and the producer when they worked on this film. And everything that you see in the movie, in the trailer, everything you see in the songs, everything that the people are seeing are actually in this movie. It's not just for YouTube.
Yeah.
It's actually you're gonna see it on that gigantic screen.
Yeah, people are waiting for it. Achha, but honestly, मुझे बताओ कि आपके, you know, like your female friends or your husbands, who is reacting better to this promo? I'm sure the guys are loving it, but
obviously the guys like it. But what I always find really interesting is, as time goes by, I have more women that come up to me and tell me that they like the promo or they like the song, or it's a very interesting switch over that's started to happen.
How did you manage that?
I don't know how that got managed. I think it's because when you see a movie it's a character, and I think most people are smart enough to know the difference between the person that they see on screen is not real, and then when you see somebody like a TV show that I've done with Splitsvilla, they're seeing my real personality, or Big Boss, they saw my real personality, or even in any interviews. So I think there's a distinctive difference between what people see on screen and then when they see me actually speaking.
So, you know, definitely when we see a film like this, where the content is a little funny and in that genre.
A little funny, it's very funny.
It's very funny, but it also at the same time is a little edgy, right?
Edgy, naughty, over the top, outrageous, extreme.
So you get all kinds of reaction when the promos hit the screen. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people say that, you know, this is not good, should be cut. What do you think about censorship?
I think that the censorship board is there for a reason. Every country in the entire world has a censorship board. They are there to do their job, and I mean, it's the same thing in the US. What you're going to see on HBO is not what you're going to see on ABC.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen
Yeah.
anytime soon. A rated R movie isn't all of a sudden going to be a PG movie, or in, I guess, Indian terms, A movie is not going to become a U movie. So these are just the rules of the game, you know, and that's what you sign up for when you decide to be a filmmaker. And luckily for us, there was great compromises made on both sides, and everybody's happy, and this film is being released with the entire movie intact.
When you know that it's driving on your shoulders, you're the hugest star in the film, people are coming for you, and yet, you know, you get these campaigns who want to drive you out of the country, or there are other actresses who are going and saying things against you. How do you react to that?
I say thank you for thinking about me. I appreciate it. Keep talking about me.
Make me more popular.
I am always really surprised when I make somebody's political speech.
Yeah.
I think, wow, what an effect I've had on that political somebody, that I'm a part of their speech. I'm waiting for Obama to make me a part of his speech, but it's just not happening.
You know, with the way things are going, wo ho bhi jayega. And you know, I think you said in an interview that I am a product of social media, which is what is doing great for you, because they just keep making headlines for you. I'm sure that, you know, when you were shooting this film, there were so many jokes that when you were shooting, you would die laughing on the floor, that ye kya scene humne shoot kiya. Were there any jokes that you would crack on each other, or pranks on the sets?
There weren't like I said, there weren't like pranks and stuff like that. It was just us, either we were making fun of somebody or somebody was making fun of me, or we were making fun of, you know, like just a situation that was going on, or just having such a good time shooting. We
so
had
who was
long
your favorite on the set?
Milup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Milup and Rangita. They were so
keep
funny.
the directors and the producers happy.
No,
That's-
but they really were the funniest. They're like, when you see them, it's like there's Milup and then there's like Rangita. She's like bite sized, this big, and then there's Milup and he's a lot bigger. So it just was so cute, and they would have this like banter between each other all day long, like an old married couple, even though they were not married. They were a lot of fun to be around.
Sunny, I have to say that every time I meet you, you know, before we meet you, all my friends, they're like, you meeting Sunny Leone, you meeting Sunny Leone. That's the reaction. I'm sure you must have seen it on Facebook and Twitter also yesterday. But when I meet her, I'm like, what do I do with this girl? She's the nicest girl I have ever met. And you know, you see this image. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
and best of luck for Mastizaade.
Thank you.
Thank you.